podcast Fashion Canes. My name is Alicia. My co-host in this podcast episode, her name is Abby. Hey Abby.
Hi.
Okay, I have a fascinating topic today. The topic may scare some of you, and some of you may find this topic interesting, and some of you may be, I don't know if you will be angry or relieved or thankful that I'm talking about this. Hopefully, I hope that if you have this condition that I'm going to discuss in this video, that I hope that you would be relieved or grateful that I'm trying to explain it. Now, disclaimer, I do have a little bit of vision. So, I am not making this video to stir up trouble. However, what most people think totally blind is, well, they think their idea of it comes from what movies and storybooks have shown. In this video, I'm going to try to explain it. Now, I can only explain it the way that I have heard it explained. So, if I explain it wrong, or if I explain it correctly, or if there actually are different levels of it, then please let me know down in the comments. This is Season 6, Episode 5. Okay, let's get into the podcast episode. Now, most people think that totally blind means that you see black or darkness. Abby, what do you think?
I'm actually a little bit educated on blindness, so I know that it's not totally darkness, but I wouldn't say that that means I fully understand what you can see.
I'm not one of those people. I have a little bit of vision.
Right.
In this video, I was trying to explain what totally blind is.
I gotcha.
Do you know what that is, or do you have any ideas of what it may be?
They have no vision.
Yeah, they have no vision. Do you have any idea of what the experience would look like or be?
I think it would be really difficult. Just because if you think about the way that our world is designed, it's not always the most friendly or accommodating to those with a vision impairment, especially totally blind. And so I think it could be very challenging.
It should be accessible for them.
Right, I agree.
And people should accept them and speak to them.
Absolutely.
If you are not totally blind, if you are watching this, the next time you see a person that's totally blind, you cannot look at them and tell that they are. However, if they are, please speak to the person. Please don't speak to the person that they are with if they are in a public place with another person. That is extremely rude. Both totally blind, and low vision people have problems with this happening. I've had this happen on various accounts personally. People will speak to my mom instead of me when we are in a public place. Please, just don't do that. It's rude and condescending. Visual impairment is not contagious. It's not contagious like the flu. You don't have to avoid us. Please stop avoiding us. Okay, so Abby, do you think it would be dark, or what do you think?
I think it might maybe resemble darkness or I don't know. I think that fascinates me. I've read a lot about how it's like not exactly darkness. They just don't have. There's just nothing there, right? So like darkness would be vision. So that's like kind of hard for me to comprehend. So I'm not sure that I fully understand that.
You know, I used to think that it was dark.
Right. And I think most people do.
Yeah, most people do. So, this is what I have heard. I've heard of people that have had temporary blindness and they would say that it's black or dark. I heard of other people who said that they were totally blind and they explained it like being gray, like looking at a gray cloud. How do you explain that? Is that like looking at a rain cloud, but without the rain? Or lightning?
Yeah, that's hard to imagine.
It is. Would you say that would be like looking at rain clouds, but there's no lightning?
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Honestly.
I've heard some people explain it like a gray nothingness, like looking at a gray cloud.
And these are people with temporary?
The person that said that it was dark or black had it temporarily.
Okay. What about the person that said it looked like the cloud?
The person that said it was like a gray cloud had it permanently.
I wonder how they know what a gray cloud looks like then.
Well, this person used to have vision.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I have heard other people explain it. They say that it's nothing. They say it's just nothing. Like there's nothing to look at.
Right.
They say it's like, what can you see in the back of your head, or what can you see through your elbow? It's not dark.
Right.
If you have vision, this would be very difficult to understand.
Right.
The best way I could explain it would be like, if I put my hand behind my head, it's not dark. It's just nothing. I can't see my hand behind my head. And that's the same way with you, Abby. You have full vision.
Right.
If you put your hand behind your head, you can't see it either.
True.
You don't see darkness.
Right.
When you put your hand behind your head, it's just nothing. That's what I have heard that it was like. So, is it possible that there's different levels of it? There's different levels of vision. So why couldn't there be different levels of totally blind?
It's a good question.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think there's different levels of it? Or do you think it just is, like a one-size-fits-all situation?
I think there's probably levels to it. Are you ready for your next exercise?
I'm working on the bicycle, but I'm getting ready to move over to the treadmill because the timer you heard in the background was the timer to let us know that was the end of my bicycle experience on the exercise bicycle.
So we can pause here?
No, we can't pause it. If we pause it, then it would turn it into 2 videos.
Okay. Well, I'll just transfer the tripod. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me one moment.
Okay,
They can still see you.
the tripod can still see? The
Yes.
camera can still see?
Well, not now, but
Well, it probably sees the tripod, not the tripod. The camera or the tripod probably sees the, treadmill. So I'm leaving the exercise. I'm leaving the exercise bicycle and coming to the treadmill. So, okay, I just stepped up on the treadmill. I have this little clip. It's attached to a rope. And the rope is attached to the treadmill. And I attached the clip to my clothes as a safety measure.
You ready?
Yeah. Okay, Abby is starting the treadmill. I have never had any issues on the treadmill, but I do it just as a safety precaution. I feel safer putting on the safety clip. But anyway, back to our conversation. Abby, so
And there you go.
one time I asked my ophthalmologist about it. And he said there were shades of gray before people would get to totally blind. He said there's only one version of totally blind. Well, I just don't agree with that because I heard it explained in different ways. Does that make sense?
It does.
Have you ever met a person that's totally blind?
In me, myself, I don't think I have.
I have met a person that's totally blind,
Wow.
but that was many years ago, and at that stage of my life, I was not in the habit of asking visually impaired people what their vision experience is. I thought that it was very rude to do so, so I just kept my mouth shut. So, if you are totally blind, if you are watching this video, you can correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, please don't chew me out, but please kindly correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But I honestly think there are at least 3 different levels of totally blind. I think that some people actually do experience black or darkness. And I think some people experience it as being gray, kind of like a gray cloud. I'm not sure if they mean like a gray rain cloud, or if they mean like a gray fog cloud. I don't know. What do you think?
Maybe like a gray fog cloud?
Okay. Abby was checking the speed on the treadmill. So anyway, and I've also heard that it's like nothing. Now, if you were born totally blind, yeah, it would be nothing. But what about people who lose vision later in life? I've heard that even some of them describe it as nothing. But I've also heard the other 2 scenarios. I've heard it described as dark, and I've heard it described as gray. So, if you understand this condition, please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. And if you are a YouTuber, I would ask you to please make a video that attempts to explain the condition of totally blind. Light perception is a different situation, which I'm going to get into in my next podcast episode. Thank you for watching this podcast episode.